Thank you very much. For me, it's a pleasure to be here today with you guys. I travel around 12,000 kilometers to be here. And perhaps the most important to say before I start saying something about the company is to the innovators, the European innovators, welcome. Welcome to this community. It's a vibrant community of people worldwide that you are going to find quite interesting. So take that opportunity of meeting new people, because that can bring new businesses and new innovations to different places. I'm here to speak about a company called Iction, a company that we founded in 2017 in London, United Kingdom. And as you can see, as you will see with this company, all the companies that were part of the Innovators Under 35's purpose. In our case, we are tackling this problem, the problem of plastic pollution. The statistics that you see at the beginning, the 12 billion tons of plastics now entering in the ocean every year, the amount of plastic that we have already there, and the main route that is taking, that is rivers, for some people is something that we hear in some familiar way, or sometimes we see it, but in places like Ecuador, we have a huge problem with this. And the reason is that plastic that flows from the continent, from rivers towards the ocean, because of the ocean currents, is getting to Galapagos, one of the main sources of theories of evolution, one of the main hotspots of the creation of marine life. So we see every year how plastic pollution is traveling 1,000 kilometers from the continent, going towards Galapagos and killing species there. So it's something that we can see in real time, how this is affecting entire ecosystems. So that's why we came out with an idea, with a proposal about this. The technology is called Azure. Is the first system developed ever of this type in South America. We are the first one doing this. As you will see later, is very important, the cost efficiency, because you want to do this in the most efficient way, tackling the problem, but also thinking about the customers, how this is going to be get paid. Data also is extremely important, not only to stop the flow, but how we can take decisions. So data can be used for that, to taking those decisions. And of course, since the beginning, as we were speaking previously, since the inception of the technology, or since we start thinking, we need to consider what it is, the design to minimize environmental impact. So I'm going to show you a video, actually, of the first deployment that we did in South America, in Ecuador, in a river called Puerto Viejo. So I wanted to show this video today to all of you guys to see how even the technology changes. When we started this path to go to Ecuador, the technology even looked completely different. We were thinking in more systems to be automatic. We were focused on technological complexity, but when we went to the real environment, we always thought to go to developing countries. We realized that the situation is completely different. So adaptability was extremely important for us. And then we moved towards a system that is working with communities. So all the people that you see in the video are part of a rural area in Ecuador that they work with us. So we are highly involved with the community, and based on the data that we get, actually we are driving systemic change. We were able to create the first circular economy law of the region in Ecuador, and also regulations locally in different cities against single use of plastics based on the data that you get from rivers. So extremely important to do that when you go to different places. And this is the impact that we were able to generate. So with only one system working 6 months, we avoided the equivalent of weight to 500,000 single-use plastic bottles of different plastics getting into the ocean and getting into Galapagos. And also the data, as I mentioned, extremely important to understand plastic pollution. Sometimes it's not only about the material that we need to replace. In many cases, as we found, is lack of waste management systems in rural communities. They don't have places to throw trash, even recycling. So they either burn or they throw to the river. So that's why it's so important data, to be able to understand what is happening and based on that, driving change. It was not enough for us. We thought that we need to do more. And now the stages that we are deploying is related to what to do with the materials that we extract from the rivers. So we have an entire range of new products that we are building. With the PET, the plastic bottles, we do material for fabrics for textiles. We do plastic wood with other types of materials. And with the plant that you saw in the video, the water hyacinth, we can do fertilizer or bioethanol. So we are in that stage. At some point, the technology is self-sustainable. We are going to deploy technologies, and then we are going to be able basically to finance from what we extract. But that was not enough. At the top, you see this brand, Galapaxi. So because what we find the most is single-use plastic bottles, we thought we need to provide an alternative. So we introduced, actually a few weeks ago, this brand, Galapaxi, is the first brand committed to saving marine reserves such as Galapagos from the problem of plastic pollution. And we have these products that in a few weeks we have a quite big customer. TikTok is the main customer of this. So we are hoping to put these water fountains, at least 1,000 of them in Ecuador and in the Andean region also, so providing an alternative of purified water. So when you go to our water fountains, you are going to see and have the security that the water is better quality comparing with any other sources. And also in July, we're going to launch these refill bottles that they have a huge impact in terms of what we can do with that. So what's the challenge? And to give you an idea why we are thinking even going further, there is also opportunities to replace existing technologies with new ones, thinking about new business models. So what we are proposing on this is basically to give the chance to companies to support this. So companies are going to pay for the deployment of this, but they can communicate what they are doing, because it's really important also to understand that we are not alone in this change, that many organizations worldwide, actually they are investing a lot of money to change, and they don't have places to communicate. So we are providing that to them with our water fountains. And the impact that you can do in terms of not only reducing plastics, we have put already 3 that we did as let's say, minimum viable products to understand the market, and each of them is able to avoid, in only a few months, 60,000 bottles were avoided without any sort of marketing, just people seeing the place and then using it. So we see the potential, and people, they want to be part of this change. But also, it reduced carbon emissions, because avoiding bottles, the production of bottles, that you can count every bottle that you avoid, and then you have the opportunity of reducing even carbon of that production. Finally, this one, that for us is going to be a new challenge, introducing this, as I mentioned in July, is we hope to have the bottle with the highest impact worldwide. So every bottle that we sell from these ones is going to be able to finance the extraction of 5,000 single-use plastic bottles. So that's how we want to drive this change. Not only thinking about the technology itself, but also how to get and bring opportunities to people to be part of this, to protect areas that are so important for us as a humanity, such as Galapagos. So this is the way that we think that this can be done. And this is about purpose that you are going to find a lot in this community of innovators under 35. Thank you very much.